a lake that can turn animals into stone, an island where pigs swim in the ocean, a planet where it rains glass sideways. The world is full of things that sound completely impossible. Yet every fact in this video is real. Here are 12 incredible facts that sound fake but are actually true. Fact 1. There's a planet where it rains glass sideways. Weather on Earth can be brutal, but compared to a planet known as HD 189733b, our weather is incredibly mild. This distant world is located dozens of light years away and is classified as a hot Jupiter, meaning it's a gas giant orbiting very close to its star. Temperatures there exceed 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit, but the truly unbelievable part is the weather. Scientists believe tiny particles of silicate, the same material found in glass, are carried through the atmosphere by winds that can exceed 5,000 miles per hour. Those conditions likely create storms of glass moving sideways through the sky. The next time you complain about bad weather, remember that somewhere in the universe, glass may literally be raining sideways.
5,000-mile-per-hour winds with a chance of raining glass.
Fact 2. The Eiffel Tower gets taller in the summer. Most people assume famous landmarks stay the same size year-round. But that's not always true. The Eiffel Tower actually changes height depending on temperature. When metal heats up, it expands. During the warmer months, the iron structure absorbs heat from the sun and grows slightly larger. Scientists estimate the tower can become several inches taller during hot summer weather. Then, when temperatures cool, it contracts again. It's a perfect real-world example of thermal expansion. Even one of the most famous structures on Earth isn't quite as permanent as it appears. Fact 3. Octopuses have 3 hearts. Octopuses already seem like aliens living in Earth's oceans, and their anatomy only makes them stranger. Unlike humans, octopuses don't have just one heart. They have 3. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills where oxygen is collected. The third pumps oxygen-rich blood throughout the rest of the body. What's even stranger is that the main heart temporarily stops beating when the octopus swims. That's one reason these animals often prefer crawling along the seafloor instead of constantly swimming. Their bodies are filled with unusual adaptations, from color-changing skin to problem-solving intelligence and multiple hearts. Octopuses are among the most extraordinary creatures on the planet. Fact 4. There is a lake that can preserve animals. In northern Tanzania sits a lake unlike almost any other. Lake Natron is famous for its extremely alkaline water. The chemistry of the lake is so unusual that animals that die there can become preserved in remarkable detail. Photographs of birds and bats found near the lake have led many people to describe them as turned to stone. They're not literally petrified. Instead, minerals from the water can coat and preserve remains, creating an eerie appearance. The lake's blood-red color only adds to the mystery. It's one of the strangest ecosystems on Earth, a place that looks more like another planet than a lake. Fact 5. A cloud can weigh more than 1 million pounds. When you look at a cloud, it seems almost weightless. After all, it floats effortlessly through the sky, but appearances can be deceiving. A typical cumulus cloud contains enormous amounts of water. Scientists have estimated that some clouds can weigh over 1 million pounds. The reason they remain suspended is because the water is spread across a vast volume and supported by constantly moving air currents. Even though the cloud is incredibly heavy, gravity and atmospheric forces remain balanced. The next time you look up at a cloud, consider it a blessing that it doesn't come crashing down. Fact 6. Wombats produce cube-shaped droppings. This might sound like a joke. Well, it isn't. Wombats are one of the few animals on Earth known to produce cube-shaped droppings. Scientists spent years trying to understand how this was possible. The answer lies inside the wombat's digestive system. Different sections of the intestines stretch and contract at different rates, gradually shaping the material into cubes. Wombats use them to mark territory, often placing them on rocks and elevated surfaces. Nature has produced countless strange adaptations, but creating cubes inside a digestive system might be one of the strangest of all. If you've made it this far, go ahead and hit the like button. Fact 7. There's an island where pigs swim in the ocean. If someone told you there was an island filled with swimming pigs, you'd probably assume it was a cartoon. But in the Bahamas, it's completely real. A small island known as Pig Beach has become famous because its resident pigs regularly swim through crystal-clear ocean water. Tourists from around the world travel there just to see the unusual sight. Exactly how the pigs arrived remains somewhat unclear. Some stories claim sailors left them there long ago. Others suggest they escaped from a nearby ship. Regardless of how they arrived, the pigs adapted surprisingly well to island life. Today, they're one of the most recognizable attractions in the Bahamas. It's not every day you see pigs paddling through tropical waters like they belong there. Yet somehow, on this island, they do. Fact 8. Antarctica is technically the largest desert on Earth. When most people imagine a desert, they picture endless sand dunes and scorching temperatures. But deserts are actually defined by how little precipitation they receive. By that definition, Antarctica qualifies as a desert. In fact, it's the largest desert on Earth. Much of the continent receives very little snowfall each year. Some regions get less precipitation than parts of the Sahara Desert. The difference is that Antarctica is a cold desert rather than a hot one. Its massive ice sheets can make people forget how dry it really is. Beneath all that ice lies one of the most extreme environments on the planet. A place where freezing temperatures and lack of moisture combine to create Earth's largest desert. Fact 9. Human stomach acid can dissolve metal. The human body is full of surprising chemistry. One of the most impressive examples is stomach acid. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid with a pH level strong enough to break down food, destroy many harmful bacteria, and dissolve certain metals under the right conditions. Without this powerful acid, digestion would be far less effective. Of course, if your stomach is producing something strong enough to dissolve metal, a reasonable question follows. Why doesn't it dissolve your stomach? The answer is that the stomach constantly replaces its protective lining. A fresh layer of mucus helps shield the tissue from the acid inside. It's a delicate balancing act happening every day without you ever noticing. One more reminder that the human body is far more remarkable than it appears. Fact 10. The deepest part of the ocean could swallow Mount Everest. The deepest known location in Earth's oceans is the Challenger Deep, located within the Mariana Trench. This underwater canyon reaches nearly 7 miles below the ocean's surface. To appreciate that depth, imagine taking Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth, and placing it inside the trench. The summit would still remain underwater. At those depths, pressure becomes almost impossible to comprehend. Every square inch experiences thousands of pounds of force. The environment is permanently dark, freezing cold, and largely unexplored. In many ways, we know more about parts of the Moon than we do about some areas of our own oceans. The deepest regions of Earth remain among the last great frontiers of exploration. Fact 11. Some bamboo can grow nearly 3 feet in a single day. Plants usually grow slowly enough that we barely notice the change. Bamboo is different. Certain species can grow nearly 3 feet in just 24 hours under ideal conditions. That's roughly an inch every hour. If you watched continuously throughout the day, you could actually observe measurable growth. This extraordinary speed comes from the plant's unique structure and growth strategy. Bamboo doesn't spend energy building new tissue the same way many other plants do. The result is one of the fastest growing plants on Earth, a living skyscraper capable of reaching impressive heights in surprisingly little time. Fact 12. There are more ways to shuffle a deck of cards than stars in the observable universe. A standard deck contains only 52 cards. That doesn't sound particularly complicated, yet the number of possible arrangements is so enormous that it becomes difficult to comprehend. Mathematicians calculate the total number of possible deck orders as 52 factorial. The resulting number contains 68 digits. It's so large that if every star in every galaxy represented a different deck arrangement, there would still be countless arrangements left over. In fact, it's very likely that every properly shuffled deck you have ever held was arranged in an order that has never existed before in the history of the universe. Sometimes, extraordinary complexity emerges from something as simple as a deck of playing cards. Reality is often stranger than fiction. From swimming pigs and cube-shaped wombat droppings to sideways glass storms and oceans deep enough to swallow mountains, the world is filled with incredible facts hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed today's video, subscribe to Facts to Fathom for more fascinating facts that sound impossible but are completely true. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.